Welcome to the Drunkard's Path. We're back from vacation and ready to just dive right in for the summer. It was whirlwind vacation in Las Vegas, which is it's pretty hot to go in the summertime. We should have rethought about that one weather-wise, but all in all, it was really nice. We stayed at a nice place and saw a lot of just crazy things. A lot of sensory overload for sure, but it was definitely worth going. And I did get to go to the cross-stitch store that I had my eye on, so I can show you a little bit of that later on. Also, we are getting ready for our first grandchild to make her arrival, which is coming up pretty soon within the next few weeks, so very exciting. Okay, today we are going to talk about the finishes from the Haunted Halloween with Fat Quarter Shop. I'm going to show you my complete finishes. Also, I'm starting a new quilt, so I will show you what I've been working on there. We have some new items into the shop, and there's a tutorial on this video as well, so that's closer to the end. And at the very end, we will have our new summer giveaway we're going to tell you all about, and it's pretty exciting. So let's get started. Okay, first I want to show you my finish from the quilt along from the Haunted Halloween sew along quilt along that was just finished. So this is my version with the bat and the cat and the haunted house. I added some eyes onto my cat and bat, and then I decided I was going to put a little bit of applique of the ghosts and the pumpkins into the house. That was my take on it. But this is my finish, and I just did the binding the other day, so it's complete. So here's the back with that fun fabric. And there's still fabric left if anybody wants to get in on this fun sew along. And the free pattern is at Fat Quarter Shop. Next, I want to show you the cross stitch I did. I finished it a little different. I didn't put it in a frame or anything this time. This is what I made with the cross stitch. It is a Halloween bag. Here, I can go like this. And I thought I'd just do something a little different by sewing, well, kind of quilting the cross stitch finish into the bag. So this is some fabric that I had left over, and inside these cute little Halloween trick-or-treaters. But this one, it took me, I think, 23 full days of cross stitching, and because there's a lot of stitching in the pumpkin, but it turned out fairly well. I like it. I like how it matches. So that is what you can do with cross stitch and quilting combined. Now I'm going to show you what I picked up in Las Vegas. I went to the cross stitch store and I got this pattern. It's called Sunflower Bee. It's really cute. It's got a little beehive and some sunflowers. And I started it, let me see, probably about 5 or 6 days ago. And this is how far I've gotten. I've got the beehive stitched and just a little bit on the bottom, so I still have the sunflowers to do, and I'll show you when it's all finished, the fully finished at the end. That store, by the way, is really something else. If you ever get a chance to go, I highly recommend it. They're very nice and helpful people. Next, I want to show you my new quilt start is coming from the Summer Memories book by Susan Aki, and I'm actually making the cover quilt, and it's called Crossroads Quilt, or let me just double check the name. Yeah, Crossroads Quilt. So, and I tried to stick with those colors that she has in there, whatever I could find. So I actually had a couple fat quarters with the blues, and I'll just show you the blues that I have. They're in this fat quarter bundle, and then I had a whole bunch of reds. I guess you can see it better that way, that I used for the red for the crossroad part. So I got everything all like starched and ironed. I'm a big starcher, but that's personal preference. So far, and if I could do this without spilling all these, So far I have my half square triangles completed, and a little bit of the, I don't know what you call these, but sew and flip parts that go onto the blue blocks of this quilt. So I have those completed, and I use the triangles on a roll, which gives me these nice, perfect half square triangles. Press open. So I'm well on my way to sewing this really, really nice quilt.
Okay, so in the time we've been away, there's been some shipment stuff come in. So let's start off with the fabric, which is more of a plain type of shipment that's come in. Multiple shipments, actually. The first we're going to show you from is Wilmington Prints. I believe these are a bit less in price. This one is called Midnight, as you can tell. It's little black bubbles. Next one here, it is called Hampton. It is a white. There's only so much detail you're probably able to pick up, but there isn't much detail there to begin with, because it's supposed to be plain. Very useful in a fair few things you can make. The next one is another Kona, and this is like a type of sky blue. It's called Blueprint, and it is a nice light blue for any of those people who want a light blue. We have another Kona here. This time it is a green. Green is actually my favorite color. This one's called Fern. By the way, if you can hear a little grunting sound in the background, that is Sid, the other dog that you didn't see the last time. He's just kind of wandering about. He's an old man, and he's trying to find something. And lastly, we have Riley Blake, and these are some more types of blues. This one is called Coastal. As you can see, it's kind of like a flowery type. In between there, it's nice. It's a nice blue, kind of vaguely purpley. And the last one, Riley Blake, is called Royal, and is again blue. Same type of vaguely purpley blue. The type of swirlies around it. So we do have one more of the zippy bag panels. I'm not going to unfold the whole thing because we've done it here before. This makes 8 bags, 4 larger and 4 smaller. So just so you know, one left of this for now. Speaking of zippy bag, we do have zippers back in stock again. So we have this kind of pink kind, the turquoisey blue, and the gray. There's a fair few there's there. And, hang on, they made a sequel, Zippers 2. It's 2 zippers, and they can pull it apart like that. We have a fair few of these as well, and it just has 8 different, the multicolor types of zippers. People love zippers. I mean, I get it, zip. And, this is different uses. To be fair, this is the same type of up and down zipper. And if you really like your zipper, and you don't want to pull the basic uppy downy bit, you can attach a zipper charm, a zipper pull charm. In the case of a chicken flower. I was kind of confused there for a second. It's the flowers growing in front of the chicken. That's nice. There's also a kitty one, non-Dre marked kitty. And a Lori Holt woman who works in an office in the 1960s. It's nice.
And now, here is the latest tutorial on how to bind a quilt. Here's a binding technique that I have been using. It doesn't use any special rulers. You just line up your fabric. I use a 2.5 inch strip of fabric, fold it in half. You line your raw edges up, and you sew just a little more than 1/4 inch from the edge. Line it up and sew all the way to the corner. And when you get up to the corner, coming close, you stop about 1/4 inch away. One more stitch, pivot, and sew off at 45 degrees right off the edge. Cut your thread. Fold your fabric up and back. So you get that nice miter. Pivot your piece around. Lower your needle and sew all the way down the edge the same way. Line up your raw edges and sew. All the way around and leave about a 10-inch tail on both ends. Okay, but find your center where you stopped, fold back the first edge and grab the other tail and fold that back as well and leave about a 1/4 inch gap in between both folds. Might take some adjusting. Now you can either finger press this or go over to your iron and make a nice crease. You're going to need that crease for the next step. Now you're going to unfold both sides and you're going to line up the creases, right sides together, opposite each other. The fold and the fold match up. And I like to pin it so it stays in the same place. It doesn't shift on me. So I'm going to pin in a few places. So match up your creases. You want to make sure you do this right because you don't want to have to rip it back out afterwards. Okay, now you're going to sew on that 45-degree from edge to edge. So you probably can see underneath I've got a piece of washi tape that I use as a guide. I don't have to draw a line on it. So there's a red line that I'm just following along as I'm sewing. So straight across. Remove your pins as you go along. Just take your time. Make sure you have a nice straight line. Cut your thread. And you're going to check to make sure that it's all lined up. You don't want to cut off that tail until you're pretty sure that it's lined up. So then you take your scissors and you're going to cut about a 1/4 inch away from that seam. And cut the little dog ears off as well. So you're going to lie it flat. And you're going to press that seam open with your finger so it stays nice and flat. Hold it. And you're going to see that it's going to fit perfectly along the edge. And that's why you leave that 1/4 inch gap. You just somehow need to have that 1/4 inch in there and it lies completely flat. There's no bumps or bulges. Might want to back stitch a little and cut the thread. can see the nice 45-degree stitch line. I like to iron back my binding. I know some people don't like this step, but I like it because you don't have any pleats in the end. Just nicely pressed down all the way around. I like steam. Now you're going to take some nice long straight pins, and on the back you're going to fold over your binding and you're going to put your pin in parallel with your binding. Don't put it across, put it straight in, aligning with your binding. That way when you sew on top, it's going to catch below. Do one side at a time, go all the way to the end, and now you're going to start right up in the corner and you're going to stitch in the ditch all the way down and take your pin out as you go along. Take it from underneath. You don't want to sew over that pin. Your needle will break. I have had that happen. Go slow, go in the ditch, and you won't see any stitching on the front. Stitch all the way across. Pull your pins. And remember, it's not a race. Just go nice and slow. Pull your pin and come right to the end. Not over, but right up to the corner, and cut your thread. Do that on all four sides. You can see the back where the binding has been caught all the way down. There's no spots where it missed. And that's how I do it. That's the finished product. Our last video giveaway, we had these two items, which are a Threadostat from the Featherweight shop and some greeting cards. We also thought we'd throw in a couple of fat quarters, and our winner for this little giveaway is Marilyn Robertson. So congratulations to Marilyn, and if you can call us, or sorry, email us at support@drunkardspath.com, we can get these right out to you. Thank you. Now we come to the big summer giveaway. We decided instead of giving small little giveaways throughout the summer, we were just going to do one big giveaway. That includes anybody who makes a purchase through the months of July, like people that have already made a purchase, from July 1st all the way to August 31st. And what you'll win is this lovely quilt package. It's a Lori Holt, tomato pin cushion quilt. And it comes in this really lovely box that has a magnetic closure. So inside, here I'll show you one by one. We have the pattern. We have some binding and some of the tops of the tomatoes here. All the backing, as well as a layer cake, or I guess because it's Riley Blake, they're 10-inch stackers of Lori Holt stitch 10-inch squares. So that will make your whole quilt. The only thing you're going to need after that is some backing. So this is a really, really nice quilt kit. So every time you make a purchase, your name goes in for the draw, and we will do the draw on September 1st, and we will let the winner know right away. Thank you for your support. Keep sewing, keep stitching. See you next time.